everybody. Welcome back to another Networking with Nico Ayo. If you haven't already and you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like button for me. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and make sure you guys hit that bell so you're notified of all my latest videos. So today, we're going to start it off with Q&A, questions and answers from Ayo out here who want to know all these questions that y'all have. I had to literally sit down and like sum it up. So basically, we're going to go in like an order. A timeline basically. So right now I'm gonna start with the questions that you guys asked me based on me growing up, and then down the line you guys will see other videos of other questions that you guys have asked me. So right now let's get into it. The first question is, how old were you when you knew you were gay, and when did you first know when you were gay? To be honest with Ayo, I don't really know how to answer that question because I don't know if I was gay, or if I don't think I knew the term gay when I was younger. But I did know that I was different in about kindergarten. I always knew I was different. I wasn't like the other females in the playground. Like I didn't play with dollies, and I just wasn't that kid or that feminine girl. I've always been a tomboy. So hopefully that sums it up. How did you know that you like girls and not guys? Once again, when I was in grade school, of course, I was never looking at guys. Like my mother would tell a story, which I gonna have her tell y'all one day. Basically, she used to make fun of me. Like she used to be like, "Oh, that's your little boyfriend over there," or "That's your little boyfriend over here," and like I used to be like, "Yeah," and she used to look at me like, "I know you lying," but I didn't know she knew I was lying, but she'd tell me now like she knew I was lying. So like I know growing up, I always used to look at females. I never looked at boys in that sense that, oh, that boy over there cute. No, that would never come out of my mouth. That's dead. So hopefully I help y'all. Did you ever date guys growing up as a kid? No, I didn't have like a little boyfriend. In my mind, I guess I had girlfriends, but I never had like, oh, that dude was my crush or nothing like that. No. The other question is, how did you grow up? Did you go to church as a kid? Yes, I did go to church as a kid. I went to Christian schools. So I do know about the Bible. A lot of people would be like, oh, well, you know, you're transitioning and what do you know about God? Yes, I know the books of the Bible. I know about the Bible. I went to Christian schools all my life, actually. I probably went to about 2 public schools in my whole life. So, yes, I did go to church as a kid, and I did go to church as an adult. Probably not recently, but yeah. When did I open up to my family and friends? So once again, when I was younger, I didn't really have to open up. It was just more of my parents and family members who were around accepted me for who I was. They didn't really know, and I didn't really know what the terms were for what I was going through, or what the terms were for me to be who I was. Basically, like I was saying, everybody just thought I was a tomboy. So it was just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna just roll with that because I know I don't like men, I know I don't like boys, but I know I like to be masculine. So we didn't really know of the actual term. I mean, I'm sure my parents did, but like I said, I was a kid, so I really don't know what the term was. I just knew I was different. When did your mom know, and when did you tell her? My mom knew always. I can make a little video for y'all to see what her answer is to that when I get to the parenting segment. So just stay tuned for that. She will give you guys that answer. But I believe, honestly, my mom knew all the time. What else? When did I tell her? I told her, I want to say either in 5th grade or 6th grade. I can't remember, but there was a story. Let me go off topic. The story was one day I came home from school and I was living in the islands, and everybody in the islands is nosy. I'm gonna just tell you that from now. So like, if anyone knew your mother and your mother was popular, or anybody knew your father and it was popular, granted, if you were doing something wrong, by the time you get home, your mother and father don't know what you was doing, basically. So they nosy bad. But what I can say is she basically threatened me. That's how I look at it. She will tell y'all otherwise, but she basically said like,
I want you to be honest with me. Do you like girls? And if you do like girls, it's okay, but I just want you to tell me. I don't want anyone else to have to tell me, because if someone else has to tell me, then I'm not going to be your mom.
Now, yeah, everybody in my comments probably gonna be like, that was bad of her to say. But realistically, I can say I thank her for saying that, because at the end of the day, I needed to accept how I truly felt and not hide it in the long run. So although it did hurt me to imagine that, oh my God, she's not gonna be my mom in 5th grade like a dummy, I definitely fell for it. I did tell her. I was like, yeah, I do like girls, Mom. I just didn't know how to tell you, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, with her being that blunt, it did help me to realize, like, you're different and it's okay. You know, you're different and it's accepted. I mean, some people might not, but as long as you accept yourself, you're gonna be all right. So that's how I told my mom, and I just believe my mom always knew. When did your dad know and when did you tell him? I am 24 years old and I have successfully began my transition to a male, guys. And when I tell you I have not told my dad, hey, dad, I like females, he just gets the vibe. You know, it's a vibe thing. I don't have to tell him. So once again, same thing with my mom. I'm assuming my dad knew and knows, because I mean, I just feel like I don't feel like I have to come out to this guy. Like, I mean, he's my dad. I feel like you should know by now if you don't know. I mean, I've been in many relationships, you know, and he's known a few. So I think he gets the gist. So I never came out to him. And I never told him like, hey, dad, I like women. So yeah, that's like a to be continued type session, because I just never said anything to him, guys. How did I feel in school? I didn't feel any type of way. I didn't feel any different. Like I said, how I felt in school was that I knew that I was different. I knew that I wasn't like the typical females that used to like to wear skirts and dress up and stuff like that. So I knew I was different, but I didn't feel any kind of way, honestly. Like, even in the Christian schools, like, I didn't feel, I mean, I used to hate the dresses or the skirts that I had to wear or the feminine gowns, but I didn't feel different. Like, no one made me feel different in school. So it wasn't really something that I felt, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully that helps. Were you bullied in school for being different? No. I've only been bullied once, and that was the first and last time I ever let something get to me. The only time that I was bullied was literally when someone told me that I had hairy legs. So I'm very hairy, as you guys can see. And when I was growing up, I didn't understand why people would bully people. And honestly speaking, I didn't even think I was getting bullied. I just felt some type of way for someone to tell me, like, your legs are hairy and you're a woman or you're a girl. I don't know if it's because they said that I was female, that I shouldn't have hairy legs. That's what bothered me, or if it was the fact that I had hairy legs. But I went home and I was like, Mom, we got to do something about my hairy legs. And she was like,
oh, they just mad because you got hairy legs. And I'm
like, well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, right, Ma. So anyway, she basically kind of like brushed it off and was like,
you don't need to change for anyone except for yourself. So if you don't want to shave your legs, you don't have to shave your legs.
And that's kind of like where the trend began, with her telling me, like, you could be Beyonce out here, you could be Jay-Z, you could be anybody out here, rich, poor, wealthy, anything you can be, and people are still gonna judge you. So that's kind of where I got that that mindset that I'm gonna do what I want to do regardless, and as long as I'm happy, I'm gonna be me. So moral of that story is, no, I didn't shave my legs, and I never let someone bully me or feel like they can tell me who I should be and who I should become, essentially. So hold on, y'all, let me see. Someone asked me, did I go to private schools or public schools, and did I have to wear uniforms, and if so, did I wear a skirt or pants? So yes, I kind of touched bases on that. I did go to all private schools. I've only been to 2 public schools. Actually, I only been to one public school, realistically. But yes, all of them were uniform based. The only public school that I did go to, which was in Jacksonville, Florida, that one was a public school. That one was like literally like the hood. Like, that's so crazy. I want to say, like, my mom has kept me in private schools all my life, and then the one public school that I go to is literally Englewood High School. Like, I'm gonna show y'all what it looked like. I played basketball. It was a great experience though. Like, I have to say, like, public schools are fire. Like, I don't understand why I was never allowed to go to public schools, but I do know some part of the reason I didn't go. But you know, it was a fun experience, I have to say. So when I was in private school, yes, I did have to wear skirts. No, I did not enjoy wearing skirts. My skirts was damn near pants, honestly speaking. Like, it was down there below my knees, everything. Like, I had granny skirts at one point, but I didn't care. Like, didn't care. I used to enjoy having PE in the morning, because if I had PE in the morning, I could have stayed in my PE uniform. But like, my teachers, they never really bothered me. When I did come to the States, though, I did go to that public school. I talked about Jacksonville. And then I did go to a private school when I moved to Atlanta. And with that private school, I was able to wear pants. So once again, my teachers never told me that I had to wear skirts. I mean, it was just more gender-based. They just let me wear whatever I really wanted, honestly. I just had to wear the uniform, but I was able to dress as a guy. So for my 11th and 12th grade year, I did dress with uniform as a guy. So yeah, that's basically what I did. And the final question is, did I have friends in school? Yes, I was friends with everybody. It didn't matter who you were. I was just that kid that just didn't care. Like, I go to school and then I go home. I really don't want to spend time there. But basically, I was friends with anyone. It didn't matter who you were. If I saw you at the lunch table by yourself, I'm going to come over there and talk to you. I was voted class clown a couple times. So I was just that jokester, that life of the party that literally didn't care. Like, I always had good vibes around everyone. I could have sat with the jocks. I could have sat with the cool kids. I could have sat with the drama club. It didn't matter what it was. The nerds, robotics. I mean, I was a part of those things, but we're not going to talk about that. But I'm just saying, like, essentially, yes, I did have friends. And yes, I hung out with any and everyone. It didn't matter to me. So to wrap it all up, that's basically my Q&A that you guys asked me for educating you guys from grade school up until about senior year, basically how I lived. I will have some more videos and Q&A, so definitely stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button for me. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and make sure you guys hit that bell so you're notified of all my latest videos. Make sure you guys follow me on all my social medias, which will be posted right here, and it will be in the descriptions below. More questions to come, and I'll see y'all later on another Networking with Nico Ayo. Later. That's why I say, hey.